A proposed pipeline that would carry oil from Alberta to BC's coast has stirred up a lot of controversy in recent months. It's feared the oil in the Northern Gateway pipeline, destined for Asia, would threaten the fragile ecosystem of the region it passes through. The protest to that pipeline has taken on many forms, but none quite so unusual as that of two BC men named Arno and Ilya. Jill Kropp met the two amateur explorers who believe they can make a difference with nothing more than words and pictures.
The summer hasn't gone exactly as planned for Arno Kopecky and Ilya Herb. On this day, they are docked in Bella Bella, a remote First Nations community in northern BC, waiting to fix their sailboat Foxy.
Then sail on to another port.
Arno and Ilya are on the tail end of a 3-month journey sailing BC's north-central coast.
Well, somehow, he's still here, and I'm still here, and we don't quite hate each other.
Nice of you to put the quite in there.
Yeah. This is Ilya. This is Arno.
Howdy.
Oilman and Sea Project.
These two aren't on a pleasure cruise. The coastline is ground zero for the Northern Gateway pipeline, an issue that divides provinces, politicians, and communities.
There's this huge issue in our backyard. We now have a chance to go and look at things ourselves instead of, just listening to this bombastic, emotional rhetoric from both sides.
Arno the writer and Ilya the photographer are collectors, collecting the names and faces caught in the fight over the proposed Northern Gateway pipeline.
We're trying to interpret and hear stories of the people who live here and who have lived here for a long, long time.
Every nook and cranny of this landscape has a story to go with it.
Nestled in those nooks and crannies, Arno and Ilya found countless stories of families, leaders, and people who call this land home.
What are you hearing from the people you've met so far?
Of all the people who actually live on the coast here, I haven't met a single person who thinks it's a good idea. Everyone is adamantly against it.
The intricate network of inlets and islands is home to First Nations communities, rainforests, and wildlife, a home that could see more tanker traffic if the pipeline is passed.
What's really kind of struck a chord with me, it's actually people that are at risk here.
These are tankers that carry 2 million barrels of oil. If one of those spills, it is going to wipe out many, many ways of life because the people here are kind of indistinguishable from the fish that they depend on, which is something I think that's hard for people to grasp when you live almost anywhere else in Canada, myself included.
For Arno, the journey has been about listening, documenting the stories he's heard for a feature in Reader's Digest.
I feel part of my responsibility is to render some of these stories that I've heard faithfully to others.
For Ilya, it's the visuals, a series of double exposure photography he will display in an upcoming exhibit.
It's an attempt at making a physical intersection between the land and a person, so I'm just trying to challenge the viewer a little bit more.
The pipeline is a complex issue, but maybe the personal stories are the ones that need to be heard.
I saw two orcas tandemly breach under a full moon 100 meters from my boat, and then I felt the boat rock when the wake from their splash rocked me. And you see those kinds of things and you feel them, and it is impossible not to be moved. It's hard to take that sense of wonder into account when you're planning out your country's economy from Ottawa.
And that is our broadcast for tonight. I'm Carolyn Jarvis. From all of us here at 16 by 9, thanks for watching and have a great weekend.